Hi, my name's Jeff Hudson. Welcome to the Coupon Bureau podcast. I'm happy to be joined here today by Eddie Watson from CoupJoy.
Hello, hello. Nice to see you again.
All right. Great to have you on. Eddie, can you start by giving us a little bit of your background and what kind of led you to start CoupJoy?
Yeah, awesome. Well, I've been in the industry for almost 15 years and really just wanted to find a way to streamline a lot of this couponing process for a lot of brands that find it very difficult, especially when they're trying to enter into the couponing world when they haven't. And so everything that we do at CoupJoy is built around how fast, how simple, and how fun can we make this process.
That's fantastic. There are a lot of nuances to executing coupons that the outsiders in just regular marketing probably don't know. So, kind of continuing down that train of thought, what is the mission and what is the role of CoupJoy in kind of this evolving digital coupon space that we find ourselves in?
Yeah, absolutely. So our initial mission is to bridge the gap between the current couponing process and the new digital process that's rolling out. And so we do focus a lot of stuff on more traditional couponing processes, so printed home, physical couponing, and things like that we do. But we're really aimed towards how can we take those kind of traditional processes and guide everybody into the 8112 space to make things much more unique and dynamic as opposed to what we're doing. And along with that, it basically just comes with how do we streamline this process? How can we remove clicks for our clients when they're building coupons? And how do we make clicks remove so that when consumers are redeeming those coupons, they can move on with life?
Interesting. Kind of historically, can you tell us a little bit about the problem and challenges that are still existing in the traditional coupon space and how your work with digital, the move to digital and 8112 universal coupons kind of solves that?
Yeah, so historically, one of the main ways that brands prefer to do couponing is on hosted things that they already manage themselves. So we're talking their websites, their landing pages when they're running sweepstakes and giveaways, their email newsletters, their social pages, and things like that. And it's been very difficult for them to be able to do that, or very costly for them to do that. But technology is so great now, we can do a lot of things and make it very, very easy for people. So if someone wants to create a coupon and place that in 10 different places, well, we can allow them to do that, and we can let them track what's going on in all 10 different places at the same time. And so now they can send a coupon out very, very easily with our software and see all the steps that are going through it. But what they traditionally wouldn't be able to do, even with really great software, is close that loop in a timely fashion or send
Mhm.
out things that are very high value. So if they want to
Mhm.
send out really high value coupons, whether it's just to try to draw new consumers in, whether it's to do some
Mhm.
sort of sampling program, or if it's something as simple as, hey, we have a consumer that's having an issue with our product and we need to send them a coupon right now to make up for it. It's very
Right.
difficult to do that because there are issues with fraud and things like that that can make it dangerous to do those kinds of coupons right now. But 8112 solves that problem and makes it really, really easy. And that allows for a lot of things that couldn't be done in the past. And I
Mhm.
mentioned sampling, but I mean that specifically because sampling is one of those things that every brand tries to do. They're always trying to conquest to get to new consumers. What if your
Mhm.
product's not shelf stable? Self
Mhm.
sampling can be very problematic and annoying. 8112 makes that very, very easy. I can send you a free coupon that you can redeem in aisle or in the store and move on with your life immediately to try it out. And that's going to lead to people trying things and doing a lot more with that brand.
Sampling is traditionally like a high value form of couponing, right? So the kind of insecurity with some of the fraud issues, the lack of serialization has made that a real problem for brands. So conquest, obviously, a huge part of a marketing strategy, and doing it securely really should open up a lot of opportunity for brands kind of going forward. So good for you for being involved in that and bringing it to the market. What other changes have you kind of seen in the user experience or the shopper experience with 8112 and some of the campaigns you've been running so far?
So, what we've noticed is there's so many different uses across the board for every consumer. And every consumer has their own process. It's known that they like to go to multiple grocery stores throughout their shopping trips. That's commonplace now. They may be doing some of their shopping online, they may be doing some of their shopping in store, and they do a mix of all of these things across the board. So what we've found is you can't just be one thing. You have to be able to be flexible and do multiple things. And so that's kind of one of our goals as well is we have this traditional printed home process that is a little bit outdated, and it does seem funny that people still have to print out their coupons. But then you have a whole host of people that may not have a smartphone, and they may not have the ability to receive a text or anything like that. And so, if we can mix these things together and combine that along with not just the 8112, not just the printed home, not just a physical printed coupon, we can actually customize a program that reaches out to new consumers, current consumers, and also allows them to do a lot of different things all together. And the beauty of 8112 is we can make changes in real time. So we can
Mhm.
see not only how are the clicks going, how is everything happening, are consumers getting the coupons, but that redemption information that comes back in real time allows us to optimize that user experience and make it better for them in the future. And so we can actually see, is this coupon working? No, it's not. Okay, well, we can pause that and we can update, make a different coupon, make a higher value coupon, switch what we're doing, change our targeting. All these things can be done because we can see that full loop now and make things a lot better than they were in the past and more cost effective.
Changing things on the fly, definitely not something we've been able to do in couponing until very, very recently, and
No.
definitely not universally. That's a nice option to have. What are you seeing kind of at the shopper level in terms of their preferences? I know there's different age groups with different, demographics technically at different places, but like in general, where do you see people liking to store and save coupons? And kind of where do you see that going in the future?
Um, what we see right now is it's mostly smaller 1 to 2 times coupons at a time. So they're not going to grab 50 coupons and move on. They're looking for something unique that's important to them at that point to go and redeem that coupon. And that could just be that currently the couponing that is out there is not as diverse as it should be. But what we have noticed is they don't really care too much about how they get the coupon as long as it's easy for them to go and redeem it. And so on our end, we've streamlined everything to keep it completely into the browser because again is based off of
Hmm.
clicks. How few
Yeah,
clicks can we give them? They can bundle inside our browser, they can do things that way, but for the most part, they're grabbing one coupon right now and moving on with life. And as we expand, as more stores come online and we start to see not the small amount of coupons that we have now, we start to see dozens or hundreds of coupons. That's where it's going to evolve. And then we're going to have to make adjustments in the future, which is how do we handle these coupons in the future? Is it app based? Is it wallet based? Is it web based? And my answer is probably all of those because everybody's going to have their own process. You will have consumers that love the app and want to move on to an app. You'll have consumers that don't want to download another app and they prefer to be on their mobile browser
right.
and move on with life. And all of
Yeah.
those should be viable options because it's all a piece of the pie and covers all of the different processes. And that's why print's in there as well, because no matter what we do, 8112 is not just digital, it can be physical printed, and it takes an entire
Hmm.
process that still is a huge part of this industry and just makes it secure. And that's
Hmm.
really, really important and really, really easy for us to be able to do. And it makes it much more palatable for brands to do more coupons and specifically to do higher value coupons.
Interesting. So you're seeing, like people always think about digital because we're always talking about digital, obviously, but tell us about some of the ways that brands and also retailers, you're seeing them kind of augment in store the use of 8112 and how you see that kind of impacting things going.
What we've seen and what we're hearing from different things is they're just looking at different ways that they can get more promotions to more consumers. If it was up to everyone, we would have more discounts across the board and it would allow consumers to do more things. It's pretty common. We know we have load to card, we have all these really cool things that are built in that do stuff, but we also have a gap for anything outside of the store. So, how are we getting people outside of the store to go into the store? And then once they get in the store, are we giving them additional options? And so it's been commonplace across the board to see a physical paper that you can grab and find the local deals for the week or whatever at your grocery store. That's an amazingly easy place to place 8112 as well. You can do physical 8112 coupons in there that are secured. You could also just do a QR code or anything else across the store at any point in time and access that coupon or coupons immediately inside the browser. And those things make it to where the more times we can show this to consumers, the more times they can see it, the more likely they are to do it. There's a reason why we don't show a media ad to somebody one time and expect them to convert. There is a repeating process for this. It's why billboards are on high traffic areas because you got to see these things over and over again before you actually make a move.
Yep, and then help with the process all the way through into the aisle, at the shelf, and then all the way right through the point of sale. And yeah, it's really changing things. And yeah, it's really important to understand the potential implications for brands and how you can really develop a comprehensive couponing acquisition experience, and also for the retailers, just them augmenting what they offer the brands in terms of shopper marketing. So, yep. So I know we've gone all over the place, but I just want to kind of bring it back into where you see things going.
I'm very interested in seeing how do things evolve across the board. And we work very, very closely with all of our clients, whether that's a brand, an agency, or a retailer, to plan out that entire process and to see how things work so that we can adjust in the future. We know right now we have a thought on how things go and we think it's going to go, but I also know for a fact that the greatest ideas that we've ever had across any of our companies come from our clients saying, we like what you do now, but it'd be a lot cooler if we could do, etc. And so we try to implement those things and work those in because they're the ones on the ground doing this all day, every day. And I'm very interested to see how these things evolve across the board. Can we get more integrated with the way that we're doing programs with the retailers and with the brands? And can the brands get more integrated in how they're communicating and sending these coupons out to their consumers? And to this
Mm-hmm.
point, couponing is an important thing, which is why they all do it. But it's also been a scary thing because you're kind of sending things out into the world and hoping it doesn't cause a problem for you. And couponing now with 8112 allows us to really be streamlined in how we do it and almost laser focused on how far we're getting into this promotion.
It's fantastic. One of the other things I wanted to bring up with you guys, because CoupJoy is unique in that, normally the majority of couponing is done by three or four of the largest CPGs and all of the brands that they own. And it's a very powerful mechanism for them moving entire markets. But one of the things we've seen, and I know that CoupJoy is involved with personally, is how does universal coupons and the advent of 8112 make it easier for smaller and emerging brands to get into couponing, whereas it might have been a problem before?
It comes into two things. Brands, essentially, when they're going into couponing, they're trying to do one of two things. They're trying to get new consumers to try their product, and they're trying to take a consumer that's already purchasing their product and get them to purchase more. And what they've historically not been able to do is do that in a very cost effective way. And because everything's completely digital and we're sending this all across the web, we can do a lot of different things that take all of their current marketing methods and enhance those with a coupon. And that can become a snowball effect if they continue to do these things consistently across the board. Consumers know, hey, this is a great company that's going to be out there that I can go try and test out and do something really unique with. Or they can come back and say, hey, you know what? We've already got this whole host of consumers that are starting to use our products. Let's enhance that audience with a coupon that gives them a discount on multiple products. And then ask them to share a coupon to their friends for a high value off of one product. Now you're going to get people more interested in testing something. No one wants to test something if you have to buy 5 of them. They always want to
Mm-hmm.
test something if it's a discount on one. And this allows for a lot more options in there. Really, the ability for 8112 to be so secured and completely delivered digitally and get all that information back is just completely invaluable when it comes to what you're doing. We live in a digital age where everything happens in real time, but you'll find out how your coupon did in 6 weeks if you're lucky. But with 8112, that's not a problem. It's the next second, and you can be a lot more flexible with what you're doing.
Absolutely. And the way that coupons used to be executed with the lead time for printing and, the limited amount of places that you could actually deliver, and the costs associated with that. And it's really, what we're seeing, not just in the couponing world, obviously, but in the consumer packaged goods world is, the smaller and emerging brands are the way that they're able to grow their audience from the very beginning, just through social media and building a very small fan base of 1,000 people. And then the next 6 months later, it's 10,000. And then it's 300,000 people that really love this unique product. They can now deliver a secure promotion very easily with companies like yours, and securely, just good at the retailer that they might be at. They may not be in Target yet. Maybe they're only in a smaller regional grocery store. But before that was very difficult to do, and now, this is really going to help those brands get to market as they scale.
And to add on to that, like one of the things that smaller emerging brands do that larger brands typically can't do is they're small. they can be very nimble and they can change what they're doing very, very quickly. Or they can launch a program within a couple of days or a couple of weeks. And larger companies tend to plan 6 to 12 months to 18 months in the future. And so they have already got their plan while they're moving forward. You see more unique promotions from smaller companies because they can do that. They can test something small and it's not going to get too wild and crazy. And with somebody like CoupJoy, we don't charge exorbitant fees that have to be set along with a long amount of time that you have to be with us. Everything's designed to be simple and easy and hopefully bring you some joy. So hopefully you go, the coupon side is the fun, easy part. I got that. Let me go deal with all the hard stuff that's part of my job. And that hasn't historically been the case.
Awesome. We're all for joy and couponing, and just really excited about what you guys are doing. And we know you guys do a fantastic job. So if listeners right now are looking to learn more about CoupJoy or connect with you, how do you suggest they do that?
So you can reach out to me directly. It's Eddie, EDDY, at CoupJoy.com. You can also find current coupons that we have live on CoupJoy.com. And if you want to learn even more, you can go to aboutcoupjoy.com. And lots of places. Find me on LinkedIn, email, phone numbers, doesn't matter. We're always around.
All right. Lots of ways to get in touch with Eddie from CoupJoy. We really appreciate your time and learning more about you guys, and look forward to having you on again.
Awesome. Good to see y'all.
Okay.